Hello, my dear students. How was your puja holidays? You all enjoyed? Okay, so again, welcome back to English literature class. Today, we are going to discuss a lesson titled as The All Clock Shop. The All Clock Shop. Okay, and this story is about a person or the story is about a clock? Oh, it's about shops. Any idea you have? Okay, so this story titled as The All Clock Shop. It's about a person. The name of that person is Ray. Ray. And he is very kind, humble and friendly nature. Main attraction is his friendly nature and all the people liked him very much. And he had a shop. He had a all clock shop and he's not worried about his own problems, but he always help others. He's always ready to help others. One day, two customers came to Ray's clock shop and he helped the two customers. So we can learn that in this lesson. And one more important point, Ray is deaf. Ray is deaf. That means he can't hear anything. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so get ready. All of you take page number 11. Lesson 4, the old clock shop. Okay, so today we are going to learn this lesson, the old clock shop. Okay, so from the title itself, we can understand the old clock shop. That shop is very old and it's a clock shop. Okay, so in the beginning, you can see 3 points. Okay, it's Christmas Eve and closing time for shops. So that was a Christmas day. It's Christmas evening and it's the time for close all the shop in that place. Ray's all clock shop is still open, but Ray is not closing his shop. His shop is still open. Two shoppers called at this late hour. So two customers came to Ray's shop at that time. Okay. Christmas Eve have arrived. As last minute shoppers were going home, a thick white sheet of snow lay over Salt Lake City, USA. So this story was happening in USA, in America, United States of America. And that was December month. It's Christmas evening and all the people were hurried to reach their house. They are going to their house after all their works, all their duties. They are going to their house. Christmas Eve have arrived and that was Christmas evening and all the people were so hurry, so quick to go to their house to celebrate Christmas. And like we all know that Christmas, we can see snow all over that place, mainly in America. So all that place were covered with snow. And yet the lighters were still burning in the all clock shop as Ray, it's all deaf honor. So all the people in that place they are hurried to close their shops and they are going to their house to celebrate Christmas. But Ray's all clock shop was not closed and he was still in that shop. And Ray, note down the name Ray, he is the main character. That is that all clock shop owner. The shop's owner is Ray and he was deaf. Deaf means, note down the word deaf, hearing impaired. Hearing impaired, that means he can't hear anything. Okay, and it's all deaf owner worked on a clock he had solved that day. So continuing that Ray, he was continuing his work. He was still in that clock shop and he's not closing his shop. Turn the page number 12. Okay, having finished his work, Ray stood up and was on his way to back room when a cold rush of air from the front door hit the back of his neck. So he was doing all his work. He was completing all his work and he was ready to go to his room. He wants some rest after all his work. He was going to his room. Then suddenly what happened though? Yes, suddenly someone opened that door of that shop and someone come inside. Someone come inside that shop. And who was that? He turned to meet a last minute shopper, but his all-wise eyes told him that this was not a shopper. He saw two men, one in his 20s, the other closer to 50. So he was standing in that shop and he was completing all his works. But suddenly, here comes one customer to the shop, the last customer. And Ray looked at the two customers. There were two people, and one in his 20s. That means one person with 20 age, and the second with 50 age, something like that. Okay, and Ray was looking to the two customers. Then Ray understood that this was not customers. He was in a doubtful manner. He don't know what to do. Then the younger man remained at the door. The older man approached the counter with no sign of friendliness in his eyes. Then the 20-aged young man stand near that door of that shop, and that 50-aged man come to the counter, and he started talking to Ray. And his attitude is not at all friendly. His attitude, that 50-aged man's attitude, is not at all friendly. And after that, what happened? Ray was able to hide his growing fear as he slowly pushed a notepad and a pencil across the counter. So Ray was in a little fear because he don't know who's this two person were. So he looked at the unfriendly face of that 50-aged man, and he was in little fear. He don't know what gonna happen now, and he took his notepad and gave that notepad to that 50-aged man because he can't hear. So he used it to communicate through that writing in a notepad. Like that, he communicated to all the customers because he can't hear anything. Okay, and he smiled at the unfriendly face, then pointed to his ears and shook his head from side to side. So that Ray gave that notepad to that man, and he shook his head. A quick look of surprise changed the man's face, and he studied the notepad, then turned and said something to his friend. And Ray wrote something in that notepad and gave that notepad to that 50-aged man. And that 50-aged man looked at that 20-aged man, 20-aged young man who was standing near that door, and they were doing some actions. They were talking something. And Ray used the chance to look closely at the man, paying attention to the shape of a gun and a restless hand in the man's right coat pocket. So that 50-aged man's hands, that right hand, were in a pocket. He wore a coat and he put his right hand in his pocket. And Ray thought that I think there is a gun in his pocket. And by seeing that, he was little more afraid. Oh, he's carrying a gun in his pocket. Then after that, anger boiled with him, but it was kept down by an inner voice that said, "Be still." He wrote on the notepad, "May I help you?" Okay, then Ray was watching that two person, that 50-aged man and that young 20-aged person, and he don't know what was happening here. Then Ray thought that 50-aged man carries a gun, and in his right side pocket the gun was there, and he was afraid, and he was observing all the things, what they are doing, what they are talking, everything. And in that notepad, Ray wrote, "May I help you? May I help you?" and gave that notepad to that person. And for the first time, the older man looked directly at Ray and smiled. And by seeing that dialogue, "May I help you?" yes, that 50-aged man looked at Ray and he smiled straight. And a cruel mocking smile, that was not a normal smile, but that was a cruel mocking smile. They both understood why he was there, why his friend remained at the door. And Ray started overthinking, and he thought that, yes, now I understand why these two persons were here, and why he's smiling like this, and why that 20-aged person was standing near the door. And they looked like men who were down on their luck and were now ready to try something they would later be sorry about. And they are here, the two persons were here to try something out. I think they are not they are here to test their luck. They wanted to know they are lucky or not. So these two persons were here to test their luck. So here the first part ends. Okay, and I hope the first part is clear for you, and let's discuss the second part in the next class. So the first part tells us about two persons, one 50-aged person and one 20-aged young person. Both of them came near that old clock shop, and by seeing the attitude of the two person, Ray was like in a fear. Actually, we don't know who are these two person and what's their need. Okay, so read your textbook. That's all for today. Bye.